Time, the indefinite continued progress of existence, and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. It is a measure constructed by man to keep the mind in a prison. Since birth, we've all been contending a race that no one will ever win. The constant struggle of the everyday hustle and bustle just to punch another man's clock. Priceless seconds ticking away till one day you wake up and you're old. There's a ninth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a parallel as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It serves as a meeting point between light and darkness, between science and superstition, religion and politics, and it lies between the pit of man's fear and the summit of his knowledge. For the remainder of this episode, we will journey to the unknown, one time for your mind.
Hi, welcome back to another edition of One Time for Your Mind. I'm your host today, the International Tate Incorporated. And today's subject is entanglement, funeral arrangement. But first, before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to Team Tate America and Team Tate Canada for allowing me to have this platform and do what I do on a regular basis. So thank you for that. Also, the Presidential Players, check out their catalog. It's awesome. And it's also on this particular channel that you're watching. Matter of fact, this podcast is actually airing on their channel. So check out their music. And last but not least, I want to give a very, very special shout out to Mama Sugar Shack. And, check her products out as well at www.mamasugarshack.com. So why do I choose the subject entanglement, funeral arrangement? So first and foremost, when you say the word entanglement, you naturally think about relationship or something like that. You've entangled in some things, but entanglement is a lot deeper than what people think, man. You can get entangled in bad energy, entangled in debt, hating, it's the same similar principle as an airplane falling out of the sky. You're moving so many cubic feet per second, but you don't even notice it. And you know, it goes to a nosedive situation, and you know, you're moving so fast, you don't see the ground till damn it finally hits you when it's all over. Entanglement is a very, very dangerous situation. That's why I chose to put these two together. Because in some situations, if you entangle like that, it could lead to your funeral. And if not, it'll get you pretty close to it. Bad energy. Okay? Be careful who touches you out there. And it don't have to be a physical touch. It can be a mental touch. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody speaking about you, speaking on your name, could cause bad energy to come your way. Speak stuff into existence. You know what I'm saying? You can also speak stuff out of existence. Okay? Now that sounds crazy. A gypsy once told me, be careful about the candles you burn in your house. And I said, why? I said, you don't know what type of energy was around that person or that company that was making those candles, right? Now you got it burning, it's all through your house. It can be incense as well. You know, you get your incense from the, you know, these hood stores. I ain't gonna say their names or, you know, the nationality, but you know the ones that, you know, around your community that you don't own, selling you everything and cashing your checks. The moment you go to jail, ain't none of them like, you know, this person was selling such and such to save or to feed their family. Ain't none of these people coming to your rescue. Meanwhile, the more traffic you have around these convenience stores or these hood stores, it makes it look like they got more going on than they do. So you're actually helping them out by advertising. Same thing with your shoes. Okay, have you ever thought about when you go out to buy Nike or Adidas or something like that, right? And you're paying top dollar for it because you're thinking you get the best product. I paid $200 for these shoes, right? And it's made in the same sweatshop somewhere in Taiwan and make $10 shoes that you see at Walmart. But that's besides the point, right? You in your head, you equating price with value. Have you ever thought about the terminology or the word price less? So do an inventory right now for the ones listening to my voice. What do you have in your inventory that's priceless? The first thing should have been life. If you didn't say life, then you've already failed this test. Anyhow, we're going to continue on. We got the C virus going on out here. I don't want to say it, but for the ones that like to kiss or kiss butt, let me hit you with something real quick. Did you know every time you kiss somebody, their DNA stays in your mouth for a while? Yummy, right? Sounds delicious, right? You walk to somebody's house and they're cooking pig feet or chitlins, and then you walk out and you still smell it. Now it's on your clothing, you smell like chitlins. Same principle. When you smell something, that smell stays in your smell receptors for quite some time. Same thing with drugs. If you're in a house that's got drugs and stuff going on, it's in your clothing and even in your skin. Because your skin is the clothing that your body wears. Nugget. Here's another thing that y'all probably didn't know. Some of y'all listen to the sound of my voice. You got these water filters on your faucets, right? Filtering out chlorine and all that other good stuff like that. But remember now, the biggest organism on your body is your skin. Yes. So if you don't have a water filter on every water tap in your house, you're really defeating the purpose. It don't matter if you're drinking the water or the water's touching your body. It's still getting in your system. Because what happens when water hits your body? It opens up your pores. Same thing with sweating, right? When I was younger, we used to go outside, right, play in the rain and stuff like that. Before acid rain started coming down, that's when the environment got to be too toxic. But right now, as you're listening to this right now, what is your environment? If you're not outside, maybe your environment is the inside cabin of your vehicle. Maybe your environment is the inside of your bedroom. Maybe your environment is the inside of your cubicle. Maybe the environment is inside of your head. What's going on in your environment and how are you helping it? Hopefully, you're reading a book or something like that. So I was at work about a week ago, and I always sit with my back turned toward television. And, you know, usually people come in, they speak to me, blah, 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 you know, morning rituals or even afternoon or evening rituals. And I speak. This one person asked me, so why do you always sit with your back turned toward television? I said, I'm eating, right? Simple. He said, yeah, you can eat and watch television. I said, brother, you misunderstood what I said to you, okay? When I said I'm feeding myself, not only am I feeding myself physically, I'm feeding myself mentally. Pin drop, right? Made them think. That's what I'm all about, man. There's nothing on television but television programming. They're programming you. And we all know that every program ain't a good program. But back in the 60s, they came out with the food stamp and the welfare system. Then the child support system came out. These were all programs designed to help the community out. But anybody out there to the sound of my voice know if you're on child support, even when you go to jail, the meter doesn't stop. Have you ever gotten inside of a taxi cab and gotten out of the taxi cab and the meter didn't stop? I haven't. So if you go to jail for not paying child support and the meter's still going, when you get out, you're in more debt than when you went in. So it really defeats the purpose of even taking that person to jail without giving them some type of alternative program to help them make ends meet, to not go to jail and miss a payment from the get-go. Entanglement, funeral arrangement. Now, for 5 minutes of pleasure, or 10, I'm gonna use 10 minutes of pleasure. I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of the doubt, right? 10 will get you 20, okay? You heard that saying before, right? Well, let me break that down to you. That has multiple meanings to it. 10 minutes of pleasure get you 20 minutes of hell, right? Child support, man. Child support is worse than sometimes being in jail. It's like having chains on that you're dragging around, right? And the sisters listening to the sound of my voice, your community is affected the worst. Now, if you got kids coming up, right, particularly young boys, my ladies, my queens, if you're raising young kings and you drug their daddy through the woodworks, would you want a woman or a girl doing your son or sons like that? Oh man, double-edged sword, right? Don't sound so good, right? Don't make a permanent decision for a temporary situation or for temporary people, okay? Now, my mother always told me never go to the grocery store when you're hungry. And I said, why? Because you're gonna be buying everything up, right? So a lot of things can be avoided if you take yourself out of that situation. Sure, I've been mad before, okay? But I think first, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a thinking type person. Being mad can actually get you up out of here. That's that funeral arrangement again, right? Because sickness, stress causes sickness, right? What type of sickness is associated with you? What type of ill poison, what type of toxic situation are you in right now? What are you entangled in? Maybe it's sports. Maybe it's gluttony, right? If you're eating right now, watching, movies and binge watching Netflix and all that stuff because there's nothing else to do. Maybe you like working out, right? Maybe your vice is women or men, drugs, gambling, stealing, selling. Whatever it is, I don't judge. You understand what I'm saying? Satan was once an angel, okay? Not to make any comparisons about that, but everybody has a past. You understand what I'm saying? Speaking of Satan, the traditional sense, when you see depictions of him on television, if it's a him at all, right? He's always red with the horns and stuff. But you open the good book and it says that he was a handsome man, right? Played music, charming, all this other good stuff. He had to have something going for himself if 1/3 of heaven went with him out of paradise. Why would I leave paradise? You gotta have a good mouthpiece, man. Good gift to gab. Or is it a gift? What do you consider a gift? Okay? Look at savants for a second, right? You got the Rain Man, right? Can read, can ravel off books and weather patterns from 20, 30 years ago, right? Just bam, bam, bam. But he couldn't hold a casual conversation with you and I. Gift or curse? Sometimes what you see on the surface is not what you see get under the surface, okay? People are gonna treat you like what they see. So you see me, right? I'm dressed down, but I'm also draped up. Draperies is curtains for the ones that don't know what that is. You hear the terminology in Texas, right? Dripped out and draped up. The talking about they slowed down, they don't assert, but they also dressed up, right? So you can't tell if they're drunk or not. At your job, when you go to work the next work day, I want you to pay attention to how many people who are intoxicated or under the influence of something, entangled with something, right? But see, now you don't know because everybody has masks on, right? So they're walking around, you can't smell the breath. A lot of times these new masks are covering up. They got these full face masks out. It's getting crazy out here, right? The agency, I ain't gonna say their name, the agency already said that masks don't work. Okay? But what are you masking right now? A mask is no term for hiding something. Okay? When you look yourself in the mirror, you can't hide from yourself. And some people got the nerve out here, right? Everything is fake about you. Nails fake, teeth fake, hair fake, high heels, it ain't your size. You got waist trainers on, and I can go on and on and on and on, but you got the nerve to say you want a real man. Honey, you attract what you are, okay? Think snakes go hang out with gorillas? Absolutely not. Birds of a feather flock together. You've heard this terminology before. Okay, sometimes you just gotta take your hat off and tilt your hat to the situation and move on. Now, let me drop some real knowledge for y'all real quick. Did you know that chewing gum while studying, then chewing the same flavored gum while taking a test can help you remember what you studied? What college institution is going to tell you that? They're not, because it's an institution. You know what else is considered an institution? Prison is considered an institution. Actually, a corrective institution. It's a correction institution. But what needs to be corrected is stop sending people to jail for simple stuff, man. Prison and jail is nothing but a warehouse for people. That's why when you go to prison and jail, the first thing they take away is your rights. And then they take away the name that your mother or your father giving you, and then they give you the government name. The government name ain't the name that's on your driving license, it's your social security number. And some of y'all tattoo the number on your body when you get out. It's like having the barcode. Think that's cool? What part of the game is that, right? Never in 1,000 years I thought I'd be telling my son, your pants are tighter than your sister's pants, right? You gotta go take that off. You're embarrassing me, man. Okay? Do you see me dressed like that? Matter of fact, I wear suspenders to hold things up, if you know what I mean. But if you can't hold things up and hold things in the road, then what are you doing? You entangled again with the wrong situation. Speaking of entanglement, go look up the Disney movie Entangled and see how many hidden messages and references to child pornography and sex you see in that. Oh, they bad about it. Why you put your kids in front of the television and they're babysitting your kids when that's the job you should be doing? Shame on you, right? A lot of times I don't blame the kid, I blame the parent. The teacher starts at home. I'm not mad at anybody, I'm mad at a situation. Sometimes I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in me because I had faith to believe in you that you would do things differently based on what you see. But remember now, everything has an expiration date. Let me leave you with one more nugget, then I'm gonna let you ride, right? Did you know that paranormal experts said that if you saw something unfamiliar in your dream, it is actually the ghost watching you while you are sleeping? Remember now, sleep is the cousin of death. It's part of life. We can't stop it. So give people their flowers while they're alive. You understand what I'm saying? Tomorrow's not promised, man. It ain't even worth going to bed angry at anybody. Forgive them and forget them. God forgives, I don't. Okay? But if you hold a grudge against somebody or a situation, it could be an unhealthy situation and take you to the funeral. But this time the funeral is you. Anyway, I'm your host for the day, the International Tate Incorporated. Check us out next week, same place, probably a different time. One time for the mind, baby. I'm out.
One time for your mind, one time.
One time.
One time for your mind, one time.
One time.
Break free the box that keep your thoughts confined. Concentrate to hear the message through the rhymes. One time for your minds, pry your eyelids open, don't ignore the signs. Late take chime in with his peace of mind. Message spreads to all, to beware the times.
One time for your mind, one time.
One time,
One time for your mind, one time.
one time.
Break free of the box and keep your thoughts confined. Concentrate and hear the message through these rhymes. One time for your minds, pray your eyelids open, don't ignore the signs. Let take chime in with his peace of mind. Spread this message to all, to beware the times.
One time for your mind, one time.
One time,
One time for your mind, one time.
one time.
Break free of the box that keeps your thoughts confined. Concentrate to hear the message through these rhymes.